Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to official mowing season. It's mowing season. It's here. You want to see my yard? It looks stunning. Nothing but leaves, but that's how we know it's happening. They're doing their last drop. I cleaned this up like 6 or 7 days ago, and it looks like I did nothing. And I'm probably not going to clean it up for at least another week because that's how busy I am. We are full to the max on customers right now. We have more jobs than time, or hours in the day, or people to even do the jobs. And, well, my house doesn't pay very well, so it's last on the list. So just how exactly did we get so busy? Well, that's the subject of this video. About 2 weeks ago, before growing season showed up, I didn't have a lot going on. So I started driving around and approaching every single business in town. And I did it one day for one afternoon. I said, I'm going to talk to 5 leads. I'm going to try to get 5 leads to find out if I can get some new commercial accounts. And I did have some success. I got several leads where they took quotes, and I even managed to land, I think, 2 commercial accounts out of just one day of talking to people. Well, because I had so much success, it got me all amped up. And since we weren't mowing yet, because it was still sort of winter, I had nothing but time on my hands. So I kept driving around town, and I did it for 3 days. 3 days I drove around, and my goal was every single day to knock on 5 doors. Sorry, I'm trying to hide from the wind. The wind is playing havoc today, especially on these oak trees. There's another leaf collection. Super awesome. It's the gift that keeps on giving. But anyway, so I did 3 days of driving around, knocking on doors. And on the 3rd day, I got excited because people were really giving me attention. You know, I was getting lots of leads that seemed like I could close them and make them into customers. And then nothing happened for like 3 or 4 days because I had to go do some more work. And out of nowhere, all of a sudden, everyone I talked to picked up the phone and said, hey, remember that quote you gave us? Yeah, we want to take you up on it. So this week happens to be spring break, and I have been busy so far every single day. But I was busy all last week too, because like I said, all those people called me up and said, hey, come take care of our yards. So this week, I don't have time to make a video about what we're doing or a job I'm doing. So I'm going to talk about something important. I learned that if you want to be busy, all you have to do is go knock on doors and talk to people. I learned that just showing up and talking to people, you can make yourself as busy as you want, like I did this week. So for example, I have 4 college kids that are home for spring break right now. We're working 8 hours a day, and we're doing it for 7 days while they're home because, well, they need money and they're in college and they're broke, and I have more work than I can do. So that's what we're trying to do this week. And if you're watching this and I haven't got to you, you're on the list. We'll get there as soon as we can. And if you want some work done, you can call me, but we're so busy, we'll try to figure out how to fit you in, but it's been an amazing week here. So I learned several things on my week of pounding the pavement, as my wife would call it, is that if you just show up and you are out and about in town and visible, especially with a trailer that says your name and number on it, people will call you. So just being out, even though I had no work to do, I just went out there and said, I'm gonna be out and about for several hours, and I have a goal of a certain amount of people I wanna talk to. Contacts, you know, make an impression and see if it sticks. Well, the more I was out there and the more I was out and about, the more I found myself finding more and more work that I was gonna get to do. And that's why I think it's funny, because I see all these people all the time saying, hey, I'm just not busy. I can't find no money. I can't find no work. Well, the problem is you're not doing anything. If you're sitting at the house waiting for work to find you, guess what? It's probably never gonna find you because they don't know you exist. But if you're out and about and the timing is right, you may find yourself with more work than you bargained for, like we did this week. I know this year I've been talking, I want to hire a full-time employee. We're actually not that far away from having a full-time employee. So just that 3 days of pounding the pavement, I got 2 new commercial accounts, and I think I got 12 new residential accounts. 12 new accounts, which is almost 2 full days of mowing because they're big yards. If you want to be busy, you have to go out there and find the work. The work's not going to find you. And the bad thing is I'm so busy now from finding the work that I'm not out there finding new work because I'm too busy trying to take care of the work I have. So I think I'm gonna have to learn how there can be a new middle ground where I have enough time to go be out and about and visit with people and get new jobs, but I also have enough time to still do the jobs I have, because right now I'm busy for the foreseeable future. For the next 14, 15 days, I am full from sun up to sundown, but I haven't been talking to new people. So I'm not gonna have new jobs coming up in the next 2 weeks because I haven't been pounding the pavement, haven't been talking to people, I haven't been making new plans. But there is a new thing that's happening, something I didn't think about. So remember I talked to all those commercial accounts? They may have said no for the commercial property, but several of them said yes for their residential property, which I thought was strange because I asked, if you already have a crew, why wouldn't you pay them to do your house? And every time it came back to, the person mowing their business is a friend of the family or someone who's retired or someone who just wants a little bit of work. And usually these commercial accounts are big open fields with not a lot of trimming, not a lot of accessories, you know what I mean? Not a lot of extra work. So it's easy to run a mower back and forth. But the residential houses have all the extra, all the details, all the fluff, you know, the bushes, the trees, everything. So that's why I find myself getting a lot of residential clients, even though I'm going after commercial accounts. And the reason I'm going after commercial accounts lately is because I learned through this winter that landscaping can be very hard if you don't have commercial accounts, or at least accounts set up on contracts. Because when we're not mowing, we still get a paycheck and you average it out over the whole year. So my goal for this year was to get a certain amount of contracts on so that next winter, we don't have to worry about getting new jobs. We have money in the bank from our current customers who set up on a annual contract. Now, annual contracts are hard to get people to sign up for, but if you can show them the value of having everything averaged out for the whole year and the fact that they may get free mowings in the summer, but you may get paid in the winter for not doing much, they really like the idea if you show them what that means. It's not that they're paying you for free, it's just that they're averaging their money out for the whole year into 12 payments. And what I always try to sell is, look, if you sign up for the contract, there's no extra bills, there's no extra invoices the whole year. We include everything. There's no questions asked. If you want fertilizer, if you want your trees trimmed, your bushes trimmed, if you want mulch done, we can include that X amount of times for the year, and every single month you pay the same contract price, no matter what gets done. So yeah, in the summertime, you get your money's worth out of me. But in the wintertime, I get a break and still get the same predictable income that's coming in. Even though I may not do much in the winter, I'm still at your property cleaning up and doing things, and your bill's not gonna change. It's not gonna be really expensive in the summer and then nothing in the winter. It's just gonna be averaged out. Also, by knocking on doors this week, something really funny happened. I may not get the job to mow the property, but I can get the property mowed. And what I mean by that is, I usually go to the yards that look like they need someone to mow because, well, if you have tall grass and you had a guy, it would be mowed. Well, if your grass is still tall, that means you need a guy. Well, what happened was, is I'd go knock on all these doors and they may not give me the job, but they for sure called their guy and it got mowed within a day or two. So if you are in town and you need something mowed, I can go ahead and call them, and whether or not they give me the job, I promise you, it'll look good next week. I also got to experience something new this week because normally I work by myself with 1 or 2 guys that help me. Well, having 4 college kids help me, I learned some things about employees this week because they don't normally run with equipment or anything. So this week, my equipment got used and abused. It's holding up great, but so far, if it has a chain on it, meaning all of our chainsaws and our pole saws, we have destroyed chains. Like, I've probably gone through, every piece of equipment has probably gone through 3 chains. It's worth it because chains aren't that expensive, but I learned that when you have employees and they're all running equipment with you, chains, gas, and just general maintenance, man, the amount of bar oil we've gone through. We even had to replace a bar on one of the chainsaws because there was a little mishap on that. Not their fault, but we were cleaning a fence line and someone found the fence. So I've learned, even though we're getting lots of work done, my maintenance costs this week have But it is all worth it, and we are charging enough for that to happen. But at the same time, I didn't consider this because I'm always the one running the equipment, so I run the equipment appropriately because, well, I know how much it costs, and I know what it takes to take care of it, and I know the purpose of each piece of equipment. Well, this week, I found myself realizing that when you have employees, even just the part-time ones, there are teachable moments that you can have to make sure they understand how to use equipment, how to take care of it, how to know when it's time to put oil on the bar, how to know when it's out of gas, how to start it when it's out of gas, how not to choke it. It's been a real fun week. It's been a real fun week for me teaching a bunch of college kids how things work. And once you teach them and they understand how it works, it's amazing to see how much better of a job they do as opposed to just running wild with a piece of equipment they don't understand the purpose of. So, getting busy, not only does it mean we're full of work and plenty of things to do, we also spend a lot more on gas and maintenance and consumable things. But the biggest thing I learned from this week and being so busy is, I told you, we're working 8 hours a day, 7 days a week right now because, well, we're doing a lot of cleanups, but that's just how the jobs are coming. But the one thing I found is because we're out in public for 8 hours a day, we're actually still getting calls from people seeing us working, seeing the trailer, seeing all the boys running around doing things. We've had people stop where we're working and ask us if we can come take a look. So sitting at home will never keep you busy, but being out in public will always keep you busy. And that's what I'm saying. If you don't have anything to do, get in the truck and go find some work. If you find one job, it'll lead to two. If you can find two jobs, it'll lead to three, so forth and so on. But sitting here at the house, waiting for the phone to ring or waiting for an email to come in, you're gonna be waiting for a long time because people typically will not come find you for work unless you're right there in front of their face. And that's what's happened for us because we're working at the neighbors, we're working in the neighborhood, people are seeing us on the side of the highways doing jobs. And well, so far this week, us being busy has been the best promotion for our company because we're out there. We're out there in the public space and everyone in the town is seeing us. And so far, I love it. At the same time, it's pretty overwhelming, the amount of people who have called us and they want their yard taken care of. And we're gonna get to it eventually. This week, we're focusing on the leaves. Next week, it's full-blown mowing schedule. Back on track. And it is probably the second week of March. So the third week of March, it's full on mowing season again here in Texas. Man, I've missed it. I've really not enjoyed the winter times, but man, I love it when the grass starts growing and the yards start looking good. Oh, it's awesome. I've also had several people reach out and ask why I don't take you guys along when I do customers' yards. Well, it's actually pretty simple. It's not that I don't want y'all to see. I'd love for y'all to see. But one, privacy. I don't want to be broadcasting my clients' stuff on the internet. But really, the reason I don't do it is because when I bring you guys along, y'all don't help much. Actually, by bringing you guys along, almost all my jobs I ever do when the camera's involved doubles the time. So if I were to film myself mowing this yard, it takes me about 45 minutes. If I bring you guys along, it's like 4 hours. Trust me, it's one of those things, until you try to film yourself working, you don't realize how time consuming it is to film yourself working. So that's pretty much why I don't bring you guys along. I have brought you along a few times, but that's why I don't ever bring you guys along for jobs that we're actually doing that are paying jobs. It's because I don't have that kind of time to do the filming and still complete my jobs for the day. So if I had one job to do, maybe. But if I've got 10 or 12 jobs in the day, there's no way I can bring you guys along and actually be productive at talking to you or actually doing the jobs. So that's typically why I don't film. I'm gonna try to start filming on my days where I don't have a lot going on, where I can show you one job, because then I have the time to talk to you guys and to do the job that the customer is paying for. That's pretty much why I haven't brought you guys along to film any videos at a customer's property. Maybe in the future, we might try. 100% for the next week or two, you guys won't get to come to work unless you bring your work gloves and you want to help. But then again, if you're helping, I'm probably not going to film anyway, because I don't know if you guys know this, the camera doesn't do a single thing for you. It just watches you all day. It doesn't even offer suggestions. Like, the camera just stares at you. So anyway, guys, that's today's video. The takeaway is, if you're not busy, it's because you're not out there trying to find work. And if you are busy, it's because you're out there. So if you need to find more work, the best thing to do is hook your trailer to your truck and go be seen. Go knock on doors, go talk to people, go meet people. You may get told no 15, 20 times, but you might get told yes once. And that one yes is gonna start a snowball effect that's gonna keep growing and growing and growing. So if you wanna be successful and you wanna grow, you can't do it sitting at the house. You gotta get out there and you gotta get it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We love you, and we'll see you in the next one.